the big matchup out there in Stanford between Florida State and the Cardinal. Malik Ewan, we all like the addition he's been for Florida State this season, Joel.
Yeah, I just think he's one of the most skilled bigs that have come through Florida State. He can catch it on the block and finish at the rim, or he can shoot it from outside and play make. He's just a really talented player for Florida State.
And there's Jalen Blakes, the spoiler, knocked off Carolina last week with that game winner back home, trying to get another big win over Florida State, Luke.
Yeah, he was clutch in that moment. He's a leader for this team, but I'm interested in the battle of the bigs. We showed Malik Ewan first. I want to see him battle it out with Maxime Reynaud. This is going to be awesome.
Can't wait. Throw it up, baby.
All right, Jamir Watkins has been a big leader for this Florida State team. Look, they're still very much in the mix. So is Stanford. So a win on the West Coast would be huge for either one of these teams. Dave Feldman, Scott Williams have the call out there on the farm. We'll see you at halftime. Enjoy.
Need to be a little close. I'm coming to you a little bit. Welcome to Palo Alto, California, Stanford University, and a perfect afternoon to come inside the Maples Pavilion for some ACC hoops. The D's fired up because it's the Stanford Cardinal and the Florida State Seminoles. A quick look at the ACC standings. Duke, Clemson, Louisville, and Wake Forest all sit atop. Stanford currently 5-3 in 7th place, right behind the 4-4 Seminoles, who want to catch up. Hi, everybody. Dave Feldman, along with former North Carolina great Scott Williams. Thanks for joining us. Stanford is 10-1 at Maples Pavilion. Very good. One of the reasons they're very good here or anywhere is their 7-foot Frenchman, Maxime Reynaud.
Yeah, the big man absolutely can flat out get it done between the lines. And why is he so good? His footwork. He is absolutely good on either block, using so much footwork to be able to put himself in position anywhere on the floor where he needs to be to score. He's got the length to finish around the basket and the ability to go out behind the arc and knock down the triple. And boy, does this kid love to chew glass. Leading the ACC in both rebounding and points, and he's #1 in the nation with 16 double-doubles.
Florida State's leading scorer is Jamir Watkins, and he scored in double figures in 16 straight games.
Well, Jamir Watkins, he's got the quickness, the aggressive mentality, and the range all the way out to the three-point shot, where he shoots 34%. He's been double-figure scoring now, Dave, 37 of his last 38 games.
Stanford coming off an impressive 37-point blowout over Miami. Florida State in it, foul trouble, a tough loss at Cal. What do you think's the key for this game?
Well, Florida State has got to use their length to their advantage tonight. They are the second tallest team in the country. They're good at getting steals. They're good at blocking shots. Use both of those to get their fast break game going, get those points in transition.
One of the things to watch for Florida State, Watkins had to play the greater part of that second half with 4 fouls. That was a factor, had to sit a little bit. And Malik Ewan, their star center, fouled out of that game, Scott. So they got to be careful in guarding Reynaud or whatever they do with the Stanford bigs that they don't get in foul trouble. Daquan Davis is the freshman from Baltimore. He's tough. Justin Thomas, Jamir Watkins, Taylor Bowen, and Malik Ewan. Chandler Jackson, #0, normally starts. He is out with a groin injury. That is why Justin Thomas will be getting the starting nod for them. Malik Ewan, Maxime Reynaud, Stanford in the white.
That's going to be the battle I'm looking forward to watching all night long. Ewan has got to stay out of foul trouble. They will not double team Big Reynaud down on that block. They were going to try to front him and deny him the basketball.
Stanford controls the tip and will have the first position. Jalen Blake's being hounded by Justin Thomas. Backdoor cut. Agarwal lays it in, and Stanford is on the board.
Yeah, got caught ball watching, all that good pressure out there. Then Ryan Agarwal, he's a player. He's not just a three-point shooter. The kid can slash to the basket. He's got bunnies to finish at the 10.
This is Watkins. Jamir Watkins' first shot can't go, and Agarwal up high for the rebound.
Yeah, Agarwal second in the team in reboundings for the Cardinal, and takes some of that pressure off of Reynaud early in this basketball game.
Reynaud's first touch inside. Lost the handle on the left. Tried to tip it, no good. Watkins comes down with it. Watkins trying to engage Reynaud to get a foul. Taylor Bowen's first shot is off. Ewan tips it in, and Florida State's on the board.
Well, Taylor Bowen can go out there and knock down some triples, but at his best around the basket, using his length. He had 4 blocks against Cal on Wednesday.
Florida State pressure. Daquan Davis all over Agarwal, almost at half court.
That's a staple. They play hard. Coach Hamilton likes to get his guys a lot of minutes on the floor. They'll run 10 guys tonight, forcing a turnover.
Here comes Watkins the other way. Watkins, Euro step, tied up, and a jump ball as Blakes did a nice job.
Well, Blakes is Coach Smith's best defender. Almost 2 steals a game that time. He gets the block shot.
Florida State's coached by Leonard Hamilton in his 23rd season, needs just 4 wins for 200 career ACC wins. Only guys with the last name Krzyzewski, Smith, and Roy Williams. That's a good company.
That's a good group, as they say in the NBA. Good group.
Davis, the freshman, had to go over Reynaud.
Well, I was talking to one of the assistant coaches, and I said, give me a name outside of Ewan and Watkins, and he said Davis. He's the pick to click tonight. He's got to have to be aggressive offensively without Chandler's 7.5 points a game that he normally has, because he's out with that groin injury.
If you're wondering about this blue and what type of color blue this is, Scott, this is the Seminoles wearing their heritage turquoise uniform to honor the school's Native American heritage. 31st time they've worn these uniforms.
Yeah, and when they wear these, they rarely lose. They're 22-8 in the games that they've worn the blue unis.
Agarwal for 3. Got it.
Well, that is big. When he hits that first one, it opens up so much inside for Maxime Reynaud.
5-2 Cardinal. Watkins, last resort shot, pretty good resort.
Yeah, you know, he got the initial defense was good. It just better offense on balance.
Donovan Young the other way with the flush, the freshman.
Well, that's what Coach Smith wants, right? Like, even after made basket, rush the ball up the floor. If you have the ability to attack it at the rim.
Young has started the last 4 games. The Cardinal 3-1 with him in the starting lineup. Watkins relentless going to the board.
Boy, what a score, right? Just a little up fake, get the defender to raise his center of gravity. Then you step by, and then does a nice job finding the glass, softening the shot. Nothing but the bottom of the basket.
Backdoor cut. Young tried to slam it. Bowen tried to meet him.
Well, this team is number 1 in the ACC in block shots. Looked like a lot of body contact on that play.
Justin Thomas, first 3, no good.
Agarwal on the glass once again. What is that now? He's having a heck of a start to this game. 5 points to go along with 3 boards. Reynaud trying to go to work on that right side he loves so much.
Reynaud all the way in for the dunk.
That's what I'm talking about. That big man with that footwork. The ability to show the ball at the 3-point line and then finish above the rim. Wow, that was impressive.
That was the quickest back down to a dunk I've ever seen. Now Davis pulls it out. This is the most shot clock Florida State's used this game. Ewan going right at Reynaud, off the glass.
Oh, what a move. Started to the middle, then worked himself to a strong right-hand side and knocked that little jump hook over the big man. I don't think Ewan liked being dunked on that last trip down the floor.
Nice pass. Young had to kick it back out, and Reynaud wasn't ready for it.
Well, when you're 7-1 and you get a lot of pro scouts that looking at you, you got to be able to not only play on the perimeter, but also inside as well. And then on the other side, Ewan right back at you, big man.
Stanford leading Florida State 9-8 at Maples Pavilion. Dave Feldman, Scott Williams, and Maxime Reynaud, who has improved dramatically every year. In fact, last season, he was the most improved player in the Pac-12. This year, even though he's leading the team in scoring and rebounding in the conference, you could argue he might be the most improved this year.
Yeah, because he gets to play with amazing talent. Saw the same thing with Scottie Pippen when I was with the Chicago Bulls in '92. Gets the opportunity to go play with the Dream Team. He went from kind of a good player, solid, back up to Michael Jordan, to an all-NBA Hall of Famer. And look at this group he's playing with. You want to talk about a good group? Wembanyama, Gobert, and the crew. That's how you get better. Playing against good talent, not only you get to see what they do, it gives you confidence. And his confidence is at an all-time high right now. That's why he has been going to work and feasting on defenses in the ACC.
Maxime's parents love, by the way, this 4 p.m. local start, 1 a.m. in Paris. So, you know, they had to stay up late, but not as late as a 3 a.m. start.
It's an early game for them. 1 o'clock. What do you think they eat or drink at 1 o'clock? Paris? Friday night?
Good wine and cheese.
Wine, yeah.
You are no good. Quick turnaround.
Yeah, coming out of that timeout, Stanford had a chance to lock in their defense, get that stop. Reynaud on that glass. 2 points, 2 boards.
Benny Gieler, the junior from Palos Verdes, in number 5. And he finds Blake's in the corner. Gieler's first shot. Off everything.
Yeah, and I like Gieler. He's a hustler. He had 4 assists. He can shoot the ball, but he's got to gain that confidence. I like to see him work at his mid-range shot, get to the basket. He always comes out firing these threes.
Watkins trapped underneath.
He's a scrapper, though. Shortest guy on the court, and Gieler will put his nose right in the scrum.
Watkins no good. Reynaud with a rebound.
You see the way Reynaud went from the left side of the key to the right side of the key to snatch that board. You can't teach that. That's desire. That's hustle. That's want to.
Agarwal in the corner. Young tried to tip it. Out of bounds off Stanford. Seminole basketball.
I want to go back and show you what I mean when a guy just wants it more than the other. I played in the NBA against a dude named Dennis Rodman, right? Like, just, you got to want to go after that glass. You start on the left side of the floor, which generally, okay, I got anything on the left. But when you want to help your team, you go get anything outside your position that comes off of that rim.
I guess that helps you average almost 12 rebounds a game, right?
Amazing what he has done at this level. Leading the ACC, leading the nation in rebounding.
Averaging a double-double. Watkins in and out. Gets his own rebound. And the slam.
That's the wheels I'm talking about with Jameer Watkins. He had the big fella come at him. He said, there's no way if I put this ball on the floor, Reynaud can stay with me. Went right by him and flushed it with a hard right hand.
He dunked it so hard, the net didn't come down. They're going to have to fix that net before they come back down. Osiah Sellers for 3.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Geller. He's a setup guy. Little penetration to the middle. Defense sucks out of the corner. You hit your guy on the team, and you get a 3-point shot.
Scott, look at the net.
I can't believe they didn't fix that. Really?
How did they not fix that?
I don't know how they missed it. Ball boy's got to get that.
Absolutely.
Look, Coach Hamilton's not happy about it.
No, it's distracting.
Well, you know, let's see if this 3-point shot from the corner goes in.
Yeah.
It's hard to visually find the front of the rim. You always want to shoot the ball over the front line. That shot actually fixed the net.
I think Young actually jumped up and grabbed it to fix it too.
Oh, did he?
Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Young might have done that.
Look at this one here. Second chance points or a killer. This is what Florida State lives and feasts on. Opportunity to get on the offensive glass. Second chance points. You can see Reynaud off his feet. Too long. Not in a defensive stance. Jameer Watkins with the blow down. A blow by right hand finish.
Christian Nitu, number 11. Big fella. Almost 7 feet from Canada. Freshman comes in as Ewan misses, and hard hitting the floor was Jerry Dang.
Yeah, I think they got Blake's underneath there wrestling with that alligator. Dang down there trying to get him off that offensive glass, because you know Coach Smith gave him an earful. 2 things he prides his teams on: taking care of the ball offensively and rebounding your own defensive glass. So they didn't like the fact that Jameer Watkins got that dunk previous trip down the floor off of that offensive board. I like Blake's. He's a tough kid. Talk about improvements. We'll show some numbers that he's had and his improvements from his days at Duke.
And one of the guys Leonard Hamilton really likes has just checked in, number 9. He's from Greece. Anastasios Royakaias. We'll see how much action he gets. Young clears the board. (12-10) Stanford. Cardinal coming off that 37-point win right here. Scott, you did that game against Miami. Young's open for three. Aiden Kamen battling. Ball goes out of bounds. Will stay with Stanford.
Yeah, that's why Coach Smith loves Kamen. He will go down there. He got two Florida State guys on his back, and he still found a way. Just enough of that basketball to have that ball be pushed out by Florida State and remain with Stanford. Hard-working young man. I had a chance to watch him a couple times in practice. Really puts in the work.
Good catch. Chisholm Akpar, number 10, in for Kyle Smith. He's the Harvard transfer. Blake splits all the defenders. The dipsy-do won't go.
Well, he had one of those on Wednesday with the right hand. Couldn't get that one to go with the left hand, but I like Blake's when he's at attack mode going into that interior.
Florida State just one of their last 7. Keeler all up in the business of Jerry Dang. This is Boston Holt, number 3. Dang's three-pointer off. Need to kept it alive. Sellers above everybody and slams it home.
Whoa, the Sellers have some bunnies. He was determined once he got that ball about the half-court mark that he was going to dunk with the finish.
I didn't think he had enough runway to take that one off, Scott. And a foul on Florida State. That's Alir Malouk called for.
Well, it hasn't.
Runway when you dunk, Scott. Don't you need a lot of runway?
Yeah, well, it hasn't been pretty basketball, so if they can't hit an outside shot, take it to the hole and send it home. Nice play by Young. Chase Center, my old team, the Chicago Bulls. Stacey King got me some tickets.
And thanks to Chuck Walsh, the Deputy Director of Sports Information. Chuck is a good man. He gives you so much research on Florida State. You are never wanting for anything. Does a tremendous job, and it makes our job a lot easier. Guys like Chuck Walsh and Zach Reynolds over at Stanford. Just very, very informative and helpful sports information directors.
Oh, those two guys are the best. Matter of fact, Chuck told me he was going to take me for a steak dinner here in the Bay Area, and I couldn't find him.
Maybe he found out how much you eat. Sellers off. And gets it, steals it, and then lays it in. Heads-up play by Isaiah Sellers.
Yeah, but I get so upset at this level. These college kids know as you're jumping out of bounds with the ball, you don't save the ball underneath your own basket. Bad things happen. That time Florida State gives up an easy basket.
It's a 7-0 run for Stanford, a 6-0 run for Isaiah Sellers. Watkins, mid-range jumper, no. Sellers and Pard kind of both tried to get it, and they knock it out of bounds.
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's somewhat frustrating that you should have had that rebound, but as a coach, you see two guys crashing the glass, you can let that go pretty quickly.
What do you do, Scott, if you're Florida State? They've gone 3 minutes and change without a hoop. You try to drive and get something to the hoop.
Yeah, you got to get to the free throw line, earn a chip to the free throw line, get some contact, try to get some free throws, or get into that interior with a bucket. Can't keep bombing away in mid-range and long-range jump shots.
Ewan was fouled down low.
Well, you can see right there, okay, let's punch it inside to our big man and try to post him up down on that low block. Now, this is where Florida State is really good. Leonard Hamilton's coached basketball teams. These baseline out of bounds. I'd be shocked if they don't get a high percentage shot on this BOB.
Watkins now back up top. They tried to get it to Ewan and got tipped away.
Yeah, Agarwal down there on that block, got a fingertip on it and poked it away.
Akpara inside. No good. Ball comes back out. Akpara gets it back. Blake's in and out. Stanford another opportunity.
Wow, Agarwal and Chiz down there battling, getting the ball back for the guys in the white jerseys.
And a block foul called on Jameer Watkins.
Well, Chiz Okpara is really taking a fight to the Noles inside the paint.
Watkins' first foul against Cal the other night. He had 4 fouls at the end of the game, and that was a problem. Offensive rebounds, something Florida State is very sensitive about. Cal had 23 of them the other day.
Yeah.
So Stanford underneath their own hoop. Agarwal drives baseline, no good, and Watkins with the rebound.
Well, you know, it's chilly. It's only 52 degrees outside. And some of that cold must be coming in on these shooters. Neither team's shooting over 40% in this game.
Backcourt, but how about the 7-footer just diving on the floor, the hustle by your best player?
Yeah, and that becomes contagious. They do that in practice as well. 4 turnovers now in the last 4.5 minutes for the Noles.
All right, we'll take a timeout. It's 16-10, Stanford on top. If you're 7 feet, you're taller than everybody. But Reynaud. 16-10, Kyle Smith, Stanford Cardinal, leading Florida State. Kyle Smith, in his first season, he was the Pac-12 Coach of the Year at Washington State. He's got a winning record wherever he has gone. And Maxime Reynaud said, I love playing with this guy because he is just very transparent about what we're going to do, what he expects. And a shout out to his son, Rocco, who's the captain of the Palo Alto High JV team, who's having a good season. So way to go, Rocco, and way to go, Maxime Reynaud inside.
Coming out of that timeout, they dial up the big man, struggling to get a field goal, shooting under 40%, till that bucket right there puts him at 42. But Reynaud, using his length around the basket with the offhand, nothing but the backboard in. And then he goes and shoots some glass. Impressive. Impressive young man.
Now they like to get back into Reynaud. He's fronted by the much smaller Daquan Davis. Akpar cut off. Now 10 on the clock for Blakes. Akpar's got to make something happen. Blakes has to shoot it. He does. And off the mark, did not hit the rim, a shot clock violation.
Can we give the Florida State Seminoles some credit for the defense on that possession? I mean, they did a great job cutting off Reynaud on the initial 10 seconds of that possession, and then never let the ball get back close to that painted area. Kept the Cardinal out on that perimeter where they could do nothing with it.
Watkins gets help and then leaves it off for Ewan. Pass picked off. Sellers ahead of people. Sellers misses.
Oh, and I think
And
they
a
got
foul on Reynaud.
Yes, they got Reynaud coming over the back. Yeah, Sellers trying to get maybe a little too cute using the left hand. He was getting challenged with the right hand, but I would have liked him to see him go right through that contact with the right hand attempted jam. See, he tries to get a little too close, float with that left hand, go right through the body of that defender, slashing by you, and just, if you can't get the dunk, be satisfied with 2 free throws.
Reynaud's first foul. Ewan fouled on the other end. An easy layup miss, but he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
Well, the Noles have been stuck right now on 10 points for what seems like an eternity with all the turnovers and blanks that they've been shooting. So what do? You go inside to your big man and try to attack right at the rim, and if he hadn't been fouled, Ewan was about to flush that.
Hey, folks, a reminder, looking ahead at next Saturday afternoon's triple header. Florida State and BC start us off at 2 Eastern, followed by the Commonwealth Clash between Virginia Tech and Virginia, and SMU hosting Stanford to cap the night. Ewan makes 1 of 2. He has scored in double figures in 16 straight games. That stopped a 9-0 run, that free throw by Malik Ewan.
Yeah, I like Ewan. This guy shoots 59% from the field. Unfortunately, he only shoots 59% from the free throw line as well. I know all about that. I know all about free throw shooting problems.
Thomas with the steal. Ahead to Davis. And Davis pushed another foul on Stanford. Now, Scott, seems like it's getting a little choppier.
Yeah, Stanford now, I believe that is their 6th team foul. So Knowles shooting 1-1 the rest of the way.
18-11, Stanford on top. 8 minutes left in the half. Someone who's affected, Scott, I know you're a native California.
Yeah, I'm a Southern California kid, so please, if you can, whether it be $5 or $50, think about a donation.
Watkins with a deep three in and out. He's had about 3 of them rim in and out.
How about Ryan Agarwal? 5 boards, 5 points. Still 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Thomas stuck up behind Agarwal and knocked it out.
Well, yeah, one official is pointing Cardinal ball. The other said, nope, Knowles ball. So I was just singing Agarwal's praises, and he dribbled down here, got a little nonchalant, got jumped from the back. Let's see, does it go off his leg? Kind of hard to tell if it was poked away.
I don't know if it did. I don't think it did.
Yeah, well, one of those officials got to get together and figure that one out.
Meanwhile, Seminoles have not made a field goal in over 6 minutes.
They're 1 for their last 10.
Daquan Davis, the freshman, ends the drought.
Well, there's the extra pass that leads to a higher percentage shot, right? We talked to Coach Hamilton. He wants his team to make 225 passes a game. He says when they do that, they're nearly unbeatable. That extra pass go a long way to helping them get back into the a rhythm offensively.
4-point lead for Stanford. Agarwal, deep three, no good. Young tried to tip it. Reynaud tried to tip it. Gets it back to Sellers. Blake spots up. Reynaud tried to tip it, no good.
Well, we have seen the Cardinal now 3 times get those little push offensive rebounds. Oh, Watkins got travel.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, this was called it too. He got in the air like he would go past to one of his buddies, and it came down with it. So the turnovers in this first half have really discombobulated the Knowles offensive attack. Well, they're missing shots. They only were 2 for their last 11. But the turnovers are the worst things. They're not allowing them to get on rhythm offensively. Plus, you know, they haven't been in the lab. They've been out here on the West Coast since what, Monday?
Yeah. Shot clock down to 6. Keeler inside. The left, no good. Ewan rebounds. Up ahead, Davis. And the little man goes up and dunks it.
Yeah, and Coach Smith not happy that he had no defensive balance after that missed shot. Gave the Florida State, struggling to score, an easy run out.
The timeout by Kyle Smith. A 6-0 run for Florida State. Stanford with a lead, but now it's only 2. Two-point Stanford lead, 18-16. Dave Feldman, Scott Williams. You mentioned they've been out here since Monday, Scott. Missed no school, though. Martin Luther King Day on Monday.
That's right.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Get ready for this. Snow day, no school, snow in Tallahassee.
Unbelievable. Well, good. Hey, good for them, right? You don't have to worry about putting any papers in on time.
Did not affect any of their travel. They were already out here. We talk about the choppy part of the game. Stanford's 0 for their last 5. 1 of their last 9.
Until
Not anymore.
Benny Yeeler stepping out behind the arc. I told you I like this kid best when he's attacking the basket. He said, I'll show you I can stroke the 3. Williams, coming out of that timeout, delivers a big bucket for his team.
Keeler's first field goal in the last 3 games. Had been in a drought, but he can shoot. Watkins gets the defender in the air. Davis, the freshman, in traffic, draws the foul. And Daquan Davis from Baltimore will go to the free throw line and shoot 2.
Well, I was very impressed the way Florida State just moved the ball offensively on that position. It never stuck in anybody's hands. Don't have anything, I'm moving on to the next guy, and it leads to getting the Cardinal defense off balance, and all of a sudden now you got yourself a driving lane to the basket.
Leonard would have liked that one. That possession had about 8 different passes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That goes a long way to cut into that 225 number, right?
There's a manager sitting on the bench or somewhere there, and he is clicking for every pass, keeping tabs.
How about that? What if that was your job? The way they moved it on that one, you better be on top of it.
Right.
You could miss one.
You better have a quick thumb.
Yeah, you could definitely miss one. You know, I love that because, you know, I wasn't a scorer in college or the NBA, but I could move the ball. I could set a pick. I could go get a rebound. I could have played for Coach Hamilton.
Yeah, you told me one of your jobs, Scott, was when someone came in the lane to say hello to them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Coach Johnny Bach, my first day, the Chicago Bulls, told me you hit everybody that comes through the lane that doesn't have the same colored jersey on that you have. I said, that's a pretty easy job, Coach. I got you.
Shot clock down to 7. Reno wants it. Keeler can't give it to him. Sellers shoots it. Isaiah Sellers.
Well, how about Sellers? He had a monster jam on his transition bucket after a steal, and then he comes back and gives the Cardinal their second 3 in the last 2 minutes.
Holt defended well by Geller. Good defensive possession. Shot clock at 4. Watkins has to throw up a tough one. Young did a nice job of boxing out, but Florida State tipped it off of him.
Yeah, you know, if I'm
You don't
young,
buy that.
if I'm young, I got boxing the guy out. He's longer than me, coming over my back. Normally the officials will give you that one. Only mistake Young didn't make, he never elevated. He never got off the ground to try to emphasize, like, hey, I got this tree coming over my back.
So a fresh 20 here for the Seminoles. Holt against Blakes. And an offensive foul on Boston Holt.
Yeah, not very often I would say that the defender's at disadvantage unless it's Blake's. Kid is so good at moving those Nikes defensively. Gets into a great stance. You know, that won't go down as a steal for him. One of his 2 a game, but definitely it's a turnover, and he gets the ball back for his teammates.
What a great story Blake's is after being a reserve at Duke. You know, comes here and he's flourishing in Palo Alto.
Yeah, in 3 years at Duke, 160 shots. Already this season, 177 shots here in a Cardinal uniform.
That'll be a foul on Donovan Young when we come back, and we'll shoot some free throws. Stanford up 24-18, 3:48 left, first half. Last Saturday, Jalen Blakes and Stanford trailing North Carolina, final seconds by 1, and the game winner at the Dean Dome. You talk about a signature win at North Carolina for a first-year team in ACC, and he's got some company. His sister, Michaela Blakes, made the game-winning field goal versus Tennessee, and that was within 24 hours. Dad Monroe was there. How great is that? And then the mom, Nakia, here watching today. So you talk about an athletic, supportive family and a great job by the Blakes family, and what a week they had back east with game winners by brother and sister.
How cool
I hit
is
one
that?
against North Carolina. The sister goes, hey, I got you. I can do it the same thing.
That's right. In-state rivals, just Tennessee, top 15 team in the nation, taking them down. I'll tell you what, the smile on Dad's face, I'm sure Mom was smiling at home someplace, but it's just beautiful, right? Like that's what basketball's so great. It's what it's all about, man.
And not only great athletes, right? By the way, Scott, they're at Stanford and Vanderbilt, 2 of the greatest schools. I mean, these are bright people. That's tremendous.
Yeah, look at that. He couldn't be a more proud papa right in the United States right now than the way he's feeling right there in that photo. So great job, guys. That's wonderful. And then on the kid on the other side, Jameer Watkins. He's going to be the first in his family to graduate. So how good is that? He said, I'm setting an example for all my younger brothers and sisters. That's so cool.
Following in the role
I love college athletics.
of his coach, Leonard Hamilton, first in his family to graduate college.
That's what college athletics is all about, right?
Blakes slicing in, and Blake's, we talked about him, his mom's watching. All good things happening to Jalen Blake's right now.
Big smile on Mama's face over there, watching her son do his darn thing here in this first half.
Stanford by 7.
And this is their biggest lead of the game, if I'm correct. Up 7 with the momentum, trying to keep it going to the locker in these final 3 minutes.
A travel on Jameer Watkins, who just ran into too many bodies.
You know, the officials aren't blowing too many missiles down there when there's that contact. And let's go back to this one here by Jalen Blake. This is his improvement, right? Look at the points per game. In 24, 1.8 points per game. This year, 14.7 points per game. You can't tell me that's not the Coach Smith effect. Giving these guys confidence.
Blake's going against Dang, defended well. Gila runs it back, but the shot clock, now they get the free clock. Sellers for 4. Yes!
Oh, they got a reset.
Sellers, number 4 with 3. Should they have gotten the reset?
I don't think so. I don't think Florida State had clear possession of that basketball at any point. So a little break from the clock operator, the little home cooking, as they say here in Stanford. Smells good outside. He got smelling good inside here, too.
Watkins knocks it down, a 2, and he gets fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. But back to that shot clock, Scott. Take a look at this.
Well, you tell me if Florida State ever has control of this ball here. And then they 5 seconds on the shot clock, reset it to 30, just enough time to knock it down there from the left side for Sellers, and then Watkins. Just so good, right? Shows the ball, one dribble right, something he's done 100, if not 1,000 times. And then the concentration to finish after the contact, going for the line, the old-fashioned three-point play.
Watkins has 8. Mentioned 16 straight games in double figures.
Such a good free throw shooter, 76% from the charity stripe. Commentator,
way to go, partner. I don't believe in that. You had no effect on that.
Look at this Florida State defense. They can switch 1 through 5. That's what makes them so aggressive. That's how they get all those steals.
Reynaud's 3 is no good. Offensive rebound by Blake's, and he's fouled.
You know, Reynaud's so good at shooting the 3. He can get that anytime he wants. What Florida State has done is frustrated Reynaud here in this first half. They're not double teaming him, but they're fronting him. And his teammates can't figure out a way to get him the ball. So he settled for that triple on that trip, if you ask me.
You surprised he only has 4 points on 2 of 6 shooting?
Well, he was so hot against Miami, yes. But talking to Little Hamilton, he says, hey, I don't normally double big guys on the block.
Akpard threw it away. Here comes Boston Holt. Holt 1-on-2. No good, but he draws the foul, and the Seminoles go back to the free throw line.
Yeah, Seminoles right now, they can't score unless they get to the foul line. They've already shot 10 free throws here in this first half. Never seen a team as good as Florida State struggle so mightily in the first half of a basketball game. They only got 21 points. Now, I don't know if it's all Stanford defense you can give them credit for that, or if it's, like I say, they just haven't been in their own practice facility in so long. They haven't had an opportunity to get into a rhythm offensively.
Tomorrow we have 3 women's games for you. Number 13, North Carolina hosts Florida State at noon Eastern. Then BC takes on Wake Forest. And after the gymnastics meet between Stanford and Pitt, we wrap up the day with number 20, NC State, hosting Virginia Tech in Raleigh. That is at 6 Eastern. 1:38 left first half. Stanford with a 6-point lead. 29-23.
Yeah, it was at 9, right? And then it seemed like it was all Stanford had the momentum. Now all of a sudden, even though it's at 6, you know, will Florida State be able to take the momentum to the locker room this final 90 seconds?
Reynaud inside. Sellers tells Akpar to get out of there. Akpar hanging in, splitting defenders, falling, but drawing a foul, and Akpar will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, the officials blowing the whistle there as Chiz Akpara big, wide body. He's got good bounce, and he just decided, I'm putting my head down and taking this thing inside. You're either going to give me the dunk or you're going to have to foul me.
He gets to the foul line a lot. He's a 69% free throw shooter. These his first free throw attempts of the day. Standout at Harvard before he came out to the Harvard of the West, maybe.
Yeah.
Some would say that.
Yeah, I was recruited out of Southern California at Stanford, and I said, I think I got more D's on my report card than they got that are in Stanford, so I'm going to have to pass.
Final minute, first half. Watkins going at Reynaud. Fade away, turnover, over him, no, and Sellers with a rebound and a foul on Stanford. And the foul is on Chisholm Akpara.
They were wrestling like two gators going after a handball, and unfortunately, it's tough when the officials have been letting them battle underneath. Look at banging, throwing bodies around, and then Akpara, he just kind of gets in and starts boxing out, and all of a sudden now it's a foul. The officials must be consistent how they call the game all the way through a half or even through an entire game. They were letting them play, a lot of contact early. Now all of a sudden it seems like every time there's some whistles, some bodies banging down low, they're calling the foul, so maybe they're trying to clean it up a little bit so things don't get out of hand in the second half.
Florida State in the double bonus, so Ewan is shooting 2 with a stop clock, best case scenario for them in the final 47.3.
Yeah, looking at these field goal percentages, 38 for the Cardinal, 33 for the Noles. Free throws, 50 for the Cardinal, 66 for the Noles. So, yeah, this is not the prettiest game we've had here in the ACC as far as teams shooting the basketball. See if it picks up in the second half now that they're starting to get warmed up.
The lead is 5.
Look at this full court trap here in the final 47. Now they fall back into a man.
40 on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock. Reynaud really wants it. Been quiet in this first half. Ball was tipped, and now Gieler off the dribble. Akpara for 3. And Chisholm Akpara.
Well, that's how you get your outside shot to go. You go to the inside, you earn a trip to the free throw line, you visualize that ball going through the basket, your next outside shot goes in.
Ewan jump hook, no good. And Stanford will take a 33-25 score advantage into the halftime break. A pretty impressive first half. All right, it is our halftime. 33-25, Stanford on top. Hosea Sellers with a good one. Let's go to the halftime studio. Here's Taylor Tannenbaum.
Welcome into your ACC Network halftime report. They're all the way out west. We're here in Bristol, Connecticut. I'm Taylor Tannenbaum alongside 3 national champs, Carlos Boozer, Joel Berry II, and Luke Hancock. Right now, 8-point lead for the home team in Stanford over Florida State. Luke, what have you seen in this first half of play thus far?
Both teams really gritty on defense. I think you see a little bit of contrasting styles here. Stanford's able to dominate from the three-point line. Florida State really getting to the free throw line. We'll see if offense kind of opens up in this second half. But love the defense early. We'll see a little offense coming.
Yeah, Stanford was able to get out on the break a little bit and get some easy baskets. And Hosea Sellers has been stepping up, especially with this Skywalkers, man. But he has stepped up. Really, the backcourt with Jalen Blakes, they have done a great job. And I mean, Maxime Renault only has 4 points right now. Florida State doing a really good job of containing him. So Stanford will need other guys stepping up.
Yeah, that's what's going on. There's so much attention going on to Reynaud right now, as there should be attention on him. Other guys are stepping up big time. You see Sellers getting the bang, bang right there.
You're going to be seeing that for a little while here on ACC Network. Hosea Sellers does lead the Cardinal with 13 points in the first half. But the biggest game.
It's one of the most beautiful campuses in the country, if not the world. Stanford University, you see the Hoover Tower, 33-25 Stanford over Florida State. In Palo Alto, California, Dave Feldman, former North Carolina standout, is Scott Williams. Thanks for joining us. Well, if you're Florida State, here's the bad news. You're 0-5 this season when trailing at the half, which you are doing right now. Stanford 10-3 when leading at the half. They're also 10-1 right here at Maples Pavilion. Stanford's gotten some help from a lot of people. Isaiah Sellers had a great first half, gave us a lot of excitement. And even though Raynaud hasn't put up big numbers, other people have.
Yeah, Sellers generally steps up when Raynaud struggles in the first half, like he did at Wake with the foul trouble. He had 13 points at the half at Wake Forest, and he's aggressive. He realizes, hey, I got to be that guy that steps up and elevates my game. And wow, did he elevate on that finish there after the live ball turnover, but knocking down triples. He's 3 of 4 from the three-point range. 3 of their 6 three-point shots. And then Jamir Watkins on the other side. Man, this guy's just constant action. If he's not bouncing like a bunny into the lane, he's outside doing damage with the mid-range game. He's got 8 points to go along with 5 boards. Unfortunately, he's got 5 turnovers. One thing that Florida State did not do real good in that first half was take care of that basketball, but Jamir Watkins is a reason that they're still within striking distance here in this game at halftime.
This is your first half summary. Both teams been a little bit sloppy with the ball. Isaiah, the great first half. Maxime Raynaud, only 4 points, 2 of 6, but Stanford is winning. Does that make Leonard Hamilton think, okay, we're doing a great job, I like our chances? Or does Stanford say, we're winning and the big fella hasn't erupted yet?
Yeah, the big fella's going to come out and erupt. He did the same thing on Wednesday versus the Hurricane, where he came out blistered to Hurricane for 14 quick points. They shot 68% for the meat part of that game in the second half against Miami, on their way to 51 second half points. I don't know if they can do that against the Noles, but we're about to find out.
Watkins guarding Raynaud. Sellers backdoor lays it in. He picks up where he left off.
Sellers constant motion, right, without the basketball. When you got a big like Raynaud that is so good at dropping the ball between defenders to his teammates.
The lead is 10. Nice pass inside, and Watkins with an easy one.
They lost Watkins down along that baseline. How do you lose the best player in a bright blue jersey? That won't make Coach Smith real happy.
Watkins now in double figures with 10.
Yeah, and they do not want to let him get going. I mean, he can really light it up quickly when he gets on a rhythm. He's a streaky player, a streaky shooter, streaky scorer. That's all he needs, to see that ball go through that basket a couple times. Look at this. Look at these big guys out here. 14 feet of fun. Yeah, 14 feet of fun out here doing the hokey pokey. I don't know what the heck they were doing. Neither one of them wanted to give an inch. That's what I love about the college game, right? They just out here like, hey, you know, the 2 young men flexing their muscles, banging against each other. That's good, clean, hard basketball. Officials are on top of that. Look at Raynaud trying to work out again here.
Sellers ran it down. Sellers with 15. Blake's hanging. The runner got it to go while falling down.
That's going to be becoming a signature shot for Blake's now. Signal from the left side of the floor to the right hand. Spin all the way around the rim and then put some English off the backboard and have it find the ball of the hole.
Thomas laid it off for Ewan, and Ewan has a great touch around the basket.
He really did. He challenged the 7'1", 250-pounder right to the rack. I understand Raynaud not wanting to pick up that foul.
Blake's lost the handle. He was going in to slam that down.
Yes, he was, with some evil intentions behind it as well, because he put that thing up against his right wrist like he was going to cock it down and throw it down hard. But that's the one I like from Blake's. He had a couple of those against Miami. That's becoming a signature move for him. Spin it hard out by the American flag and let it just spin right back into the basket.
Malik Ewan just picked up a technical foul.
That's no good. Okay, that's going to give a couple more freebies for Stanford when they're trying to get that momentum. I don't understand what Ewan is so upset. He just made a great play on the offensive end.
So Isaiah Sellers to shoot 2, and
wow, I'll tell you what, that's tough right there. You get Sellers on the line here to shoot a couple freebies. The kid's an 85% free throw shooter. And that's like giving him a free 2 points. I don't know. Coach Hamilton's got to be fuming inside. Lead now at its biggest of the.
here's what happened. Keep an eye on Malik Ewan.
Well, he comes over to try to block that shot, and he's thinking, yeah, that's some incidental contact. We had more than that in the first half, but like I said, the last 2 to 3 minutes of that first half, they start trying to clean up some of those contact underneath, and they're continuing that theme here in the second half. Now the players just have to adjust.
Blakes had lost the ball. I think Ewan was saying, look, I didn't affect anything. He lost the ball, and they called the foul anyway. He's going to sit for a little bit for Leonard Hamilton. Davis says, okay, let's calm down. I got 3 back real quickly.
Yeah, Daquan Davis, 7 points in that first half. He was 1 for 1 from behind the arc before he shot that one. So that was a big shot that they desperately needed.
Now they switch off, and Thomas is on Blakes. Now Ewan against Sellers. Sellers kicks it out. Young from the corner. Donovan Young.
Good basketball. Still on the page at a Florida State's book with the extra pass. Nice job by Renaud. He hadn't done much in this half. He gets double teamed. He doesn't get frustrated, try to force something up. He finds one of his teammates that finds another one of his teammates for a corner pocket 3.
Stanford has their biggest lead at 12.
Oh, that was a tough one right there.
Watkins goes right at Renaud and draws the foul on the big man.
Well, Tyler Bowen had blown a bunny, but they fought hard. It's just the team is #1 in the ACC in steals. They get the ball back. Love this one right here, though. Look at Renaud. So good at finding the cutter. He gets double teamed. Wasn't the best pass to the corner, but he got it over in plenty of time. And he just picked it up off the floor and canned it. Was that Young knocking down a triple?
Yep.
Look at the bench. This is a tight group, all cheering for their mates, right? Everybody wants to be on that court. Everybody wants to show out in front of their friends, family, faculty, and fans. But when you're in a game, that's when you got to be supportive, right? You work hard and you compete in practice, but when it comes game time, you're all one family working for one common goal, and that's to get a victory.
Renaud picks up his second foul. He's going to sit down. Kyle Smith and Renaud discussing the matter.
Yeah, they're trying to post up Renaud on that block, and he's getting fronted. They might be better served running some side pick and roll, some high pick and roll, trying to get Renaud the ball in other spots on the floor. So without Renaud out there, look for Sellers and Blakes to step up their game and Ryan Agarwal to be aggressive in this situation.
Blake's trying to get it to Cameron. Now they swing it to Sellers. Bo Bowen with great defense on Blakes right in front of him, and the turnover by Davis, who is fouled after he stole it.
Yeah, Blakes wanted the ball because he thought, well, I got Bo Bowen on me. I'm going to take this longer body off the dribble drive. But Florida State's so good. They switch 1 through 5. These guys are used to guarding smaller offensive players. They get to a good stance, use their length, and he shut Blakes down, forced the turnover, got the ball back. Not the first possession Coach Smith wanted to see without his All-American on the floor.
Davis, beautiful move inside on Cameron.
Hey, Davis is having a game. Knocks down a triple, comes back inside with a little up and under move. He's in double figures with 12.
6th time he's been in double figures this season. Oh, they had Young backdoor. No one saw him. Sellers instead pulls up. And he hits the two.
How about Sellers, though, right? Just a little dribble, get into the body of the defender, create some space, get step back on balance, and knock down a little baseline, Jay.
7 of 10 from the field for 19 points for Isaiah Sellers. Ball out of bounds, and it goes to Florida State.
I'm not sure if the official didn't point the wrong way.
We'll take a timeout. It's a 10-point lead for the Cardinal. 15:39 left in the second half. (46-36) Stanford on top of Florida State. This stat pack on the win versus losses doesn't bode well right now for Florida State. You see what they do in wins versus losses. The assists, the three-point field goals made, all things that are a concern for Leonard Hamilton right now at Maples Pavilion, down by 10 with 15:39 left in this game.
Yeah, getting outshot by the three-point line, getting out assisted. Obviously, if you can't make a shot, you can't get an assist. But his concern at Cal was his team got outworked. Right now, they're getting outworked here in the second half.
Benny Geeler.
I like me some Benny Geeler because this kid's a scrapper, man. You watch his kid in practice, you need a guy like Geeler on your team. Opportunistic scorer, knocking down a triple from the short corner.
He's got 2 field goals. He had none in the last 3 games. Watkins, tough 3, contested. He wanted a foul.
How good is Jameer Watkins, right? He had a guy in his face, slapping him on the wrist, and he still had the concentration to finish the shot.
He's got in double figures for 17 straight games. That is a foul on Benny Geeler. They didn't like the screen, Scott.
Yeah, I couldn't really see what happened. We kind of got blocked out by some fans sitting down here at courtside. But, hey, Geeler, look at bleeding out of his mouth. He's out here fighting. Took an elbow on the defensive play down there. His lips are all red. He reminded me of my old teammate who's coaching up the road, Steve Kerr. Went and saw last night. Had a chance to visit with him before the game. His team came back and beat my Bulls in the second half. Beat him up badly in the second half, by the way. I gave him a copy of my book. I said, I wrote about you, Steve. I want you to have a copy.
Did you sign it for him?
Of course. Coach of the men's United States national team, gold medals in the Paris Olympics. I'm proud of what Steve has done.
Bolt Bowen, right as the shot clock was expired.
Well, you know, they can't just be all Watkins all the time. They got to have some guys that'll step up, and Bolt Bowen's one of those dudes that can play off the dribble and create his own shot. Got great length, gets on balance, and knocks down the mid-range jump shot.
It's his first troop. He did have a season-high 20 against Georgia Tech. Before Sellers continues on his torrid pace.
You would think right now Cardinal would be getting crushed because Raynell hadn't really been able to get off that launch pad, but Sellers right now it doesn't matter where he's at, where he's going to the basket or he's at mid-range or three-point line. He's got extreme confidence in his game. He's knocking down everything he shoots.
4th time scoring 20 points or more for Sellers this season. Thomas tried a tough pass, stolen by Stanford.
Yeah, Thomas was trying to work hard in there, but he got shut down by the Cardinal defenders. Oh, we got a timeout here. It looks like official stoppage of play. Hurt injured player. He's holding the back of his head. Sometimes you take an elbow and it doesn't cut you, but it feels like it's going to cut you. They have this Bolt Bowen there with the left arm trying to get the ball. Nothing malicious about it, but yeah, he got brained. He's going to have to come out into this game for a moment.
He's got 22. His career high is 24.
You would think with all that hair it would absorb the contact.
What a block by Bolt Bowen on the 7-footer, Raynell.
Raynell couldn't believe it. I'm not used to guys getting up that high and blocking my right-hand jump hook.
That was incredible defense by Bolt Bowen.
Bolt Bowen had 4 blocks. 4 against Cal.
Raynell, nice job boxing out.
Now Raynell's 8 rebounds now.
Reno tried to dunk it home and missed it.
Reno said, hey, where's the contact? You've been whistling me for fouls. I went in here hard to the hole, and I can't get a whistle.
Bol Bowen, the three is good. What a sequence for Bol Bowen. And Reno's still upset here, and he's got to be careful.
Yeah, official told
because he's been complaining the whole time up and down.
Official did a nice job showing restraints and pointed to the Stanford bench and said, go to your bench. Reno could not get the right-hand hook to go. It got blocked. Bill Bowen comes back again, and he comes again inside.
After being checked out.
Well, remember we were saying it was shooting was so poor in that first half. Wonder if he'd pick up in the second half. Well, it has. Right now, Florida State shooting 78% here in the second half, 3 of 3 from threes. Cardinals 75%, 3 of 3 from threes.
Five on the clock for Benny Geeler. Geeler's three on the way. Good!
Benny Geeler. I love that young man. Yeah, shot clock coming down, wasn't getting anything. Florida State playing great defense. And Benny Geeler, a walk-on who earned a scholarship, knocks down a big triple.
Geeler 3 of 4 from beyond the arc.
I'm not going to say he just shut down Bol Bowen, but he stopped him there, challenged the shot, and his team got the rebound.
Geeler, part of 13 Stanford bench points, Florida State with only 3. Sellers, all of a sudden they left him alone. Geeler.
Oh, he's feeling it.
Oh, heat check.
Yeah, rimmed in and out. You know, you mentioned those bench points. I'm glad you did, because they had 27 bench points on Wednesday.
Nidu tipped it in, running underneath the hoop.
You ever see the tipping like that?
No.
Just running by, don't get it clean, 2 hands on it, just got my fingertips on it and finds the basket. Yeah, was he got a horseshoe in his sock?
Right place, right time for Christian Nidu's first points. Agarwal. Davis, the freshman, pushing it. Bol Bowen's the trailer. Watkins went up high above everybody. And then the ball went out of bounds. It'll be Florida State ball.
Well, sometimes when you're trying to come back from a large deficit, you got to get...
It always delivers. Back here at Maples Pavilion, Dave Feldman, Scott Williams, Stanford 55, Florida State 46. Second half action. And Nitu, who had just had the miraculous tip that Scott described, will go to the free throw line for 2.
It's kind of amazing, right? Like how quickly a guy can get hot. It's once you see that ball going one time, yeah, fortuitous tip, and the next thing you know, they run a baseline out of bounds play. I always love watching Leonard Hamilton coach teams operate those BOBs, those baseline out of bounds plays. It's such high percentage shots.
Nito's an interesting story from Canada. Didn't play as a senior in high school, was injured, but Leonard Hamilton thinks he'll be a pro. He's pretty talented. And this was a crazy tip. He grabbed the net, all of it.
I think he was just as shocked as we are that that ball went in. An 8-point game, Florida State, just about over 10 minutes to play. If they're going to win this game, they got to do it with the D. They got to pick up, getting into a stance, and stop this Cardinals second half attack where they have been on fire.
Okpara lost the handle, and I think they call Watkins for the foul. So Watkins picks up his second.
Yeah, you know, we talked about Chiz Okpara always trying to be aggressive, putting the pressure on the defense. That time he got that switch with Watkins, and he was determined to put that beef that he had advantage on Watkins. Watkins just said, no, I'll grab you. I'm not letting you back me down into that paint. You want to wrestle that gator down there in that, down on that low block.
Sellers trouble getting the ball in bounds. They finally do to Akpara. Akpara, good job using his body to get the foul on Nito.
He got those big, wide shoulders, right? He got them tree trunk legs. He puts it right into the taller but skinnier Nito, and then just gets to where he needs to be now at that point to force a high percentage shot or a foul. So, again, Akpara getting an opportunity to go to that free throw line.
Hey, folks, here's a next gymnastics reminder. Our next gymnastics meet right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app tomorrow afternoon. Number 15, Stanford, squares off against number 25, Pitt at Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. Our coverage will begin at 4 Eastern on the ACC Network. Now Nito feeling it, trying to call for the ball.
I love it. Yeah, Ryan Agarwal back out there. He must have did a shoe change at halftime. He said the first pair he was wearing wasn't working.
Watkins no good. Nito is a spark off the bench.
Yes, and exactly what the Noles needed. They needed somebody to come in with a little fire. That lead now that was 13 down to 7.
Nito with some quick moments off the Seminole bench.
Yeah, they got Watkins down on Ray. No, they got to figure a way to throw that ball down to him on the left block.
Geeler got separation over Nito and delivers.
It's been the bench punch on both sides. Big bucket there by Geeler. We had another one on the other end by Nito. I love what that was a bench guy. So I'm always happy when the guys off the pine are ready to play and can deliver for their team.
Benny Geeler has been a spark, Scott. 4 of 7, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc.
Yeah. Watch this kid in practice. He's the, outside of Ray Noah, who I think is the hardest working, the best player, the hardest working, and the most supportive vocally on the squad. Geeler is probably in second in that
for a possible flagrant foul.
Okay, they're going to review this for a possible flagrant foul in the lane.
So I guess they're checking the inside the painted area here. Let's see if there's not a little extra something to the back of Ray Noah's neck.
Oh.
Is that Watkins?
It is Watkins.
Look like Watkins comes up high with the forearm / wrist and delivers a little blow to the back of Ray Noah's neck there. See his head snap forward. And he's quick to, well, he's a snitch. He's quick to point out to the official, like, hey, go take a look at that one. He just popped me in the back of my dome.
Ray Noah has not been short on conversations with the officials tonight, Scott.
No, he has not.
But it didn't look flagrant, but it was up by the neck.
Well, it was definitely intentional. And anytime you hit somebody at the shoulders or above the shoulders with a blow that is not considered a basketball play, they're going to whistle you for a flagrant foul. So I'd be surprised if they do not give him a flagrant foul in this situation. Had it been in the chest and the hip, no problem, play on.
Right.
But once you start hitting somebody in the head and in the neck, they're going to call that every time. Yeah, you can see right there, and circle in yellow, just that right shove.
No,
it wasn't
right.
hard.
He shoved him, though.
It wasn't hard, but it was an intentional blow.
Right. So I agree with you. I think they probably will call that. Wasn't.
It wasn't going to sit him out of the game. But
you know what it was, Scott? It was obvious right in front of the official. That's what it was.
Right. It wasn't even in the scrum. Like, if you're going to get somebody back because you got a shot that you didn't think you were supposed to take, you got to wait till you get into a scrum. Here comes the officials.
Here we're going to get an explanation. It's a flagrant. Got it.
Oh, that's brutal.
Dead ball contact.
Yeah, so Stanford, 2 free throws in the ball. Is that how he explained it? So, wow, that's tough for Florida State. They had cut it down to 7, and then now all of a sudden they're going to get 2 free throws in the ball back. This could be a potentially 4 or 5 point play.
After review, blue number 1's been assessed a dead ball contact technical foul. We'll shoot 2 and Stanford will get the ball back.
Well, they're sending Sellers to the line. We talked about how good he is from the line at 85%. So that's almost an automatic too. Should they get the ball back and give the ball to Gielers, he might hit a three. Did he just miss that? Did I do that again?
Yeah, and had he made both, he would have tied his career high. Still one shy. He's got 23. Florida State has shot themselves in the foot a little bit. The technical there on Watkins, technical earlier on Malik Ewan.
Yeah, and we haven't seen a lot of Ewan since he got that technical foul, though. Coach Hamilton not real happy. He's got both Watkins and Ewan on that pine, sending them a message. That's not Florida State basketball.
The double team leaves Agarwal open. Boston Holt up ahead of everybody.
Wow, that's what you get. You get a rebound, you get your horses out there running wide and free, and you get all of a sudden. So what could have been a 5-point trip, they only got 1 point out of it. Right back the other way comes State. Now we got ourselves an 8-point game with 8.5 to play.
Absolutely, Scott.
That was
it's
huge.
much closer than it should be with all the free stuff Florida State has given Stanford.
Yeah, unfortunately, now they just pick up another foul. Gielers, he's going to earn a trip to the line. That's the 7th team foul. Let me correct that. That's the 6th team foul. Let me correct myself again. It's the 7th team foul, as the scoreboard operator's a little slow here. So 17 fouls sends Gielers to the line to shoot a couple freebies. And I tell you what, he doesn't get to the line very often. Let's see how he does in a pressure situation.
First free throws of the night look pretty good. He's 3 of 5 from distance.
Yeah,
If they move that free throw line to 22 feet, I like his chances.
Yeah, ice water in his veins. This is a 90% free throw shoot. A little walk on Gielers, having himself a night.
Now that's a foul on Akpara.
Okay, so
Boston Holt will go to the free throw.
yeah, so what we're seeing here, the official said, okay, it's enough is enough. We let you guys bang hard in that first half. Now when we start getting that contact, when players go to the hole, we're going to clean all this up. So you see a lot of teams going to the free throw line. Now that's the 15th foul on Stanford for a couple more. State's going to be in the bonus situation.
Gielers is a great story. Walk-on who got the scholarship after his freshman season. They were like, you've earned it. He certainly has.
Got here scrapping, diving on the floor, got a bloody lip, bloody mouth, and knocking down shots, getting his teammates involved, playing that good hard-nosed defense. I'm telling you, every team, I don't care what level it is, high school, college, or pro, they need a player like Benny Gielers.
Boston Holt trying to make it single-figure deficit. He does. The lead is 9.
A lot of time left in this one for State. They can continue with this pressure and get a little mini spurt, 6-2, 8-4 run. See if they can put that pressure, and they just coughed him up.
Gielers had his pocket picked by Holt. Gielers comes down with it. Now he'll slow it down. The Cardinal doesn't have numbers. Reynaud wanted it. They didn't find it.
Yeah, that's the only problem with Gielers. Sometimes they put that length on him. He can't get the ball over his defender to get it into Reynaud.
And now another foul away from the ball. And we'll take a TV timeout. 61-52. Stanford on top. 7:45 left here at Maples. What do you do when Maxime Reynaud is 2 for 8? You get help off the bench.
Yeah, you call up the 6'1", 180-pound Haywood, California's finest. Benny Gielers was absolutely going bananas tonight. He's 3 of 5 from the field, from three-point range, rather. He's got 13 points. And then you look on the other side. Isaiah Sellers, moving without the basketball, the corner triples. He's got it all working tonight. The kid is 8 of 12 for 23 points, and has he knocked down 4 triples of his own. So 7 triples from those two guys, 7 of their 10.
Sellers needs 1 to match his career high of 24 points. Blake's perfect from the line.
Blake's so good. The guy's got ice water in his veins. You know, the game's starting to tighten up a little bit. They got that lead under 10 to single digits, and you put Blake's on the line, 85% shooter, knocked in a game winner at North Carolina, which broke my heart. And then he comes out here and just strokes two free throws to give him that double-digit cushion.
Love to see that you're still affectionate about him after what he did to your Tar Heel.
I had a chance to talk to that young man after practice the other day. Well-spoken. Told me he's the best NBA 2K player in the country.
In the country?
I think my 23-year-old son might have something to say about that.
Me too. And a foul underneath on Donovan Young as he was trying to box out Boston Holt. That's his third.
Well, he was trying to box out. He was giving it all that he got, but I think he got a little too much, too handsy down there along that baseline and ran the guy all the way from one side of the floor to the other. So there you stay with. But sometimes, hey, that's better enough than giving the offense a rebound for an easy putback if you know it's just the baseline out of bounds foul.
Davis hanging. Need to. Couldn't decide whether to tip it or dunk it, and he missed it.
Yeah, he's impressive. He uses his length real well around that basket. Yeah, I talk about not every foul's a bad foul. Look at Keeler operating again. He got those 4 assists, almost got his 5th.
Keeler stole the pass from his teammate, almost had a layup. Blake's. Got it.
Well, Sellers and Blake's. These guys have really stepped up when Maxime Reynaud has not been able to get to double figures in scoring, which is an oddity, because he's always in double figures in scoring.
14-point lead for the Cardinal. Need to from 3. Blake's clears it.
Well, I tell you what, we got under 7 minutes to go here, and the lead has ballooned to 14, the largest of the game. Florida State's got to do something to get some stops and some transition baskets, because they can't score against this Cardinal D. There's a steal.
Reynaud double team, threw it away. Here comes Davis. He keeps it. Freshman misses it. Bolt tips it in. So Boston Holt in the right place at the right time, and it's 66-54.
Well, there's that stop and that score before the Cardinal had a chance to set their D, and they can't even inbound the ball. They got to burn a timeout.
So Stanford takes a timeout. We'll keep it here. Up by 12. So if you're Florida State right now, what are you thinking? It's a 12-point game, Scott. It's 5:49. What is Leonard Hamilton saying?
Well, he's got Watkins and Ewan, his 2 best players on that bench. He's rolling with the guys that are out here trying to work the hardest for him. He said, just keep up that intensity defensively. Let's try to get some more steals or deflections to disrupt that Cardinal attack offensively. And if you're in that Cardinal huddle right now, let's take care of the ball. Value the possession. We cannot afford live ball turnovers that lead to easy runouts and buckets the other direction.
See what they diagrammed for getting the ball in here. That was the impetus for calling the timeout. Stanford couldn't get the ball in bounds against Leonard Hamilton's press.
Well, they're going to press. They're going to switch 1 through 5. They're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at Stanford here in his final 5 minutes and 49 seconds. Maybe even the kitchen sink, too, if I know Leonard Hamilton.
Blake's to inbound. Reynaud comes and helps him. Blake successfully gets it across half court.
Look at Bull Bowen out here hounding Blake's.
Yeah, he's long. Reynaud, backdoor cut. Sellers has a new career high.
They've been setting that one up all game long. Sellers has been coming up over the top. This time he breaks off his route, goes backdoor, and Maxime Reynaud so good at slipping those bounce passes to his teammates.
Sellers 25 points on 9 of 13 shooting. A new career high as Malik Ewan back in the game and now back to the free throw line.
Yeah, they're going to send Ewan to the line every time he catches it down there, because like I said, he only shoots 59% from the free throw line, but I love this right here. This guy's only got 4 points in the game. He could have jacked something up from behind the arc, but he realizes, hey, this is the play we called up, and that timeout. We act like we're going to do dribble handoff, and then at the last minute, he breaks off his route, cuts back door. They had cleared the key. That's the key to that play. Empty the key. Both players on the weak side, well out of that three-point line. No help side defense can get there in time. Easy jam. Did you say Sellers had a new career high?
Yep.
The kid's having a heck of a game.
25 points. Now Geeler will bring it up against Watkins with the pressure. Reynaud helped him with the screen. Geeler lost it. Turnover, Stanford.
Wow, you don't see Geeler with very little pressure very often turn that ball over. And even Coach Smith with his palms out like, what are we doing out here? We got to take care of that basketball. Anything can happen. 5 minutes to go when you're playing against a Coach Hamilton team. They can get hot. You got Watkins and Ewan back in that game now.
All kinds of contact between Reynaud and Ewan.
Yeah, Watkins down there as well. So whatever happened to that dead ball foul is still continuing here in the final stages of this game. Or maybe Reynaud just wanted a little payback.
Foul was on Maxime Reynaud, his third.
Go back to this one more time. Look at these two big guys down here battling. Looked like Reynaud got the worst of it. He got the foul called on him. He's like that sometimes. Hey, I was the all-time ACC fouls leader for, I don't know, several decades. I might still even hold the record. I know what it's like to go out there sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta take one for the team.
Is that why when you got to the pros, John Bach told you to hit everyone down the lane? He knew you were good at it?
Might be why they got me out of free agency. They need somebody to bang with the Pistons.
Blakes was slow to get across half court. He does. He seems okay now. We talk about Reynaud with a slow game, but he does have 11 rebounds. And now a left-handed tip.
That was pretty. All-in-one motion, jumped up to meet the pass, and then flipped it in with the left flipper.
Watkins answers in the corner. Watkins has 18.
Real pretty basketball on both ends that time. Ewan finds his buddy Watkins with that little hammer pass. When you're like going out of baseline, you sling it around the back of the backboard to your shooter in the corner.
Agarwal didn't see the defender behind him, almost lost it, and somehow Watkins reached in and fouled him. Watkins now with another foul.
This is the one that almost had me halfway out of my chair, and I'm not supposed to cheer. Reynaud struggling offensively with a fantastic play, showing his length around the basket.
Let's look at tonight's dynamic play of the game, brought to you by T. Rowe Price, our dynamic play of the game. And it is Maxime Reynaud, backdoor to Oziah Sellers.
What a game Oziah Sellers is having. 9 of 13 from the field. He's got 4 triples. He's almost perfect from the free throw line to go along with those career-high 25 points you talked about.
And Reynaud, yes, only 6 points, but he does have 11 rebounds. He does have 2 assists. He only has 2 turnovers. He's played very well. Right before we went to break, Watkins did pick up the foul. He now has 4. There's only 3:54 left. He had foul trouble against Cal. Malik Ewan fouled out against Cal. Fouls have been an issue for their 2 best players. Lead still 10.
Gotta make your free throws.
Davis, the freshman, misses everything.
Davis has been so good from behind that arc, but that one just got away from him. Cameron having trouble getting the ball over half court.
He almost fell down on his own. Agarwal cut off. Florida State's defense is kind of swarming. They don't stop.
when they're focused and locked in and committed defensively, they're a hard team just to get the ball over half court, let alone to get anything inside. And in those moments, it's given Stanford problems. Problem is they haven't had much of that in the second half. Florida State shooting 65% from the field here in the second half.
Sellers, no good. Reno, yes.
Big fella flexed his muscles down there in that paint on that play. Said enough of this. Let me show you guys why I should be the ACC Player of the Year.
Offensive foul on Florida State.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be on Ewing. That's going to be his fourth personal foul, a frustration foul. You give up an offensive rebound and a jam, and then you want to do something positive on the other end, so you get a little too aggressive at the post up and just throw the defender to the floor. Can't have that.
Kamen leaves it off. Sellers missed the easiest look he's had all night.
Kids bid everything. He's like 9 of 12 or 9 of 13, and then a layup just kind of rolled off the rim, but that's okay. I love the aggression. You could have burned a little clock, but you know, when you got a chance to get a layup, you take it.
Davis draws the foul. The freshman Daquan Davis draws the free throw. So he'll go to the free throw line. This is the guy, by the way, Scott, that Leonard Hamilton says reminds him the most of himself. Just tough, gritty, gets the most of his talent.
Yeah, I like Davis because Davis was aggressive early offensively in this one. He knocked in a couple triples, and he got a steal or two.
Hey, coming up next, it's the Nothing But Net crew. We'll break down the day and the night in the ACC with highlights and analysis of every game and look ahead at the best matchups on the schedule for next week. We've got you covered all season right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Don't talk to Isaiah Sellers. Why not? He deserves it after the career high tonight. 72-62, 2:42 left.
Yeah, look at his full court pressure. They know that game clock is their enemy, so they got to make this game as long as possible. Try to get some steals. If not, they got to commit some fouls here in the front court.
Geeler trapped, got rid of it. Thought about it. Wisely said, I'll use some clock.
Coach Smith would have yanked his chain had he shot that ball with 16 seconds on the shot clock.
Out of bounds, Stanford keeps it, only 4 on the shot clock.
Well, the culture that Coach Smith has established here in Stanford, you can see, is taking roots and producing fruit. They are really good at home. One and a 10, move to 10-1.
They go to 11-1.
Oh, excuse me, 11-1 here at Maples Pavilion. And this is a good win over a feisty, full-strength Florida State team. It's going to give his squad a lot of confidence. What he's teaching is working.
Reno. Fresh 20 for Stanford.
You tell me Maxine Reno doesn't know he needs one more bucket for his 17th double-double? They're going to try to get him one more shot.
Now 6 on the clock. Keeler, no good. Bodies flying everywhere. Watkins left in the backcourt.
There's somebody on the floor on every trip down the floor.
Ewan inside, draws the foul, and they call it on Kamen.
Yeah, we just haven't had enough of that from Ewan today, right? Like getting down on that right block and then being able to oppose your size and your strength, your advantage with your length. We haven't seen enough of that young man this evening. He's going to get back to Tallahassee, get in that lab, put in some work, and get ready for his next game out.
Ewan hits the free throw. And Watkins takes a seat. Watkins leaves with 18 points.
Love watching the Stanford coaching staff over there. Coach Smith barking orders. He's off his feet. Coach Shaw's yelling stuff out to his team as well. Keeler. They had Keeler. He seems like he's played the entire second half.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. They've really gone to this kid, and he has delivered in some big moments.
Now, Florida State pressuring, but they took out their 2 leading scorers. That's a sloppy pass. Turnover. Ball tipped out of bounds. They say off Florida State.
I'm not sure. One official's pointing Cardinal ball. The other one is saying it's Florida State's ball. Daquan Davis flying in, and does it hit the shoulder right there of, was that Sellers underneath there? Blake's. Looks like it hits Blake's shoulder and goes out of bounds, but are they going to the...
They're going to review it.
Going to the table, yeah. Clarence Armstrong's going to go to the table and take a quick look at this one.
And they're going to bring Watkins and Ewan back in the game for Florida State. So if you're the Stanford Cardinal, if you win tonight, Scott, you match your win total from the previous 2 years. We talk about Kyle Smith and what they're doing. And then after here, you will host Syracuse on Wednesday. Then you travel to SMU. And then Wake Forest, who's one of the better teams in the ACC, and NC State come to Maples Pavilion.
Florida State basketball.
So the ball will go to the Seminoles.
I love when the officials go to the replay to make sure they get it right, but they do it in a timely fashion.
Yes.
And sometimes they can get over there, it seems like it's 3, 4, 5 minutes, and it just kills the flow of a college game, which the beauty of the college game is that it has so much flow. That was nice. Go over there, get it right, 30, 45 seconds. Let's get back to the action here. We got a minute and a half left to play in a good basketball game. Single digits right now, Florida State trying to get a bucket here.
So here comes Florida State with the inbounds. Ewan and Watkins back in. There's Ewan spinning. No, Reno with a rebound.
Oh, he had a good look.
Stanford's going to use some clock. Florida State fouls. Davis reaches and grabs Blake.
Well, Davis has the foul, right? Stop the clock. You got to try to extend the game. Unfortunately, for Florida State, they got the ball into the hands of one of their best. Stanford got the ball in the hands of one of their best free throws. Should we mention Blake's at nearly 86% from the free throw line. So between Blake's and Geeler, they can salt this thing away. We got an 86%er and a 90%er.
And they're shooting 2 in the double bonus. Blake's is 4 for 4 from the free throw line today. Still perfect.
Well, hey, Nikita Blake's mom there, all smiles and
like any good mom, she says, "Make your free throws or no dinner."
Yeah, well, 10-point lead now, under a minute to half. It might be too little for Florida, or too much rather for Florida State to come up, and they turn the ball over there. Look at Keeler, he don't want to give it up. He knows I'm a 90% shooter. I'll go to the line to stroke a couple.
Sellers dunks it home.
Adding to that career high total. Sellers says nobody's going to pick me up after that trap. I'm just going to attack the rack. What a game this young man has had.
Career high 27. Ewan got fouled.
Go back to this one more time, because after you get by the initial pressure of the defense is at a disadvantage because they don't have as many men in the scoring areas as you do. So Sellers says they're not going to stop the ball. Well, I'm just going to be smart about it and take it right to the rack for the high percentage shot. I like when players do that. Like, there's sometimes in a pro game, they'll just sit there and hold it and just turn the ball over and give it to the other team. But I always say in college, you got the basketball and there's still a possession or two, or it could be a shot clock violation. You go in there and just jam it. Happy for Ewing. He comes out of this game. He didn't have the game he wanted, obviously, and they're not going to get this victory, but it's just enough opportunities for him to get to the free throw line to gain some confidence. So even in a loss, there's something that can be learned.
Stanford's going to get their 14th win. There's the foul that'll send Cameron to the free throw line.
Interesting. I thought Ray Noah got that ball, and he was going to attack the rack to make sure that he got his double-double on the night. But again, a team-first big guy only cares about the victory, not about the statistics. Very impressed with that young man. I tell you, he's a mathematics major. You got to be bright to go to Stanford. I was taking geology classes at North Carolina. This guy, he's out here taking mathematics and chemistry and playing chess in the park with Wembanyama.
They got the right guy leading him. You know, Kyle Smith was a great Division III player at Columbia, so he's a very bright guy, trying to get the culture back here at Stanford. Watkins inside and gets fouled. Jameer Watkins already has 18, now 20, and will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, for the life of me, I just can't figure out why Stanford Cardinal keep fouling. Like, you got the game won, give them the basket, keep the clock ticking. Stranger things have happened in college basketball games here. I want to say that they're going to come back and win. The chances are extremely low with 25 seconds to play. But almost you would think Watkins almost might want to miss this one on purpose and try to get the ball back. He's looking to the coach like, hey, coach, what do you want me to do?
After the game, the Nothing But Net crew will talk to Isaiah Sellers, who I'm sure will be happy to share his experience of the career-high 27 points. Out of bounds. Stanford basketball.
I'm not 100% sure, but I would think Watkins tried to back iron that ball so it would come out hard and almost gave his team a chance to get that ball back. But Lee, I love this right here. This guy's going to play a full 40 minutes fighting for that ball. Slammed it right off of, who was that, Bowen?
And now they're going to review on whose ball it is now. So even though there's only 22.5 seconds left, they want to get this right. Been very physical here.
Yeah, Malik was pushing Cam in, and they went all the way down into the front row over here by the Gatorade bucket. Oh boy, wiped out about 7 chairs in that front row. Those big bodies. It wasn't Malik. Was it Watkins down there? Maybe it was Watkins and came in battling for the ball.
They reviewed it quickly. Stanford basketball.
I like this crew, this officiating crew. They get it done, they get it right, and they move on. Here's a chance now, Florida State set that trap and see if they can't get a turnover here. Remember, it's only a 3-possession ball game.
Timeout Stanford, their final timeout. Sellers had some issues inbounding the basketball.
Yeah, because the way the ball went out of bounds, he's not allowed to run that baseline. He put all that length guarding the inbounder. He can't get that ball anywhere. That wingspan of these Seminole players is just too hard to get that ball in.
Scott, I wouldn't mind your perspective on these new teams in the ACC. So now Florida State travels 3,000 miles. Stanford went back to North Carolina. Much to do about nothing, or you think that's a big deal when these teams are now flying so far and playing these games?
Oh, 100%. It's going to add up over the course of, what, they got 20 ACC games that they play, and everyone's got to do it. But at the same point in time, I think what you're seeing the effect of is not tired legs for the Florida State Seminoles. It's the lack of the time in the practice gym, right? Like, you're out on the road for one of the longer extended periods of time. The pros are used to it. They're used to going out and playing 4 or 5 games and you go east, west, whatever. But these college kids, they're not used to that. This is the first time they've ever had to do that, to come all the way from the East Coast and Tallahassee to come all the way out here to Northern California, and they've been out here since, what do you say, Monday? So it's just they just weren't crisp tonight, right? They turned the ball over. They couldn't make shots. That's the effect I think that you're going to see from these teams that either have to go east or they have to go west.
Yeah. It's certainly a different landscape than when you were playing.
Yeah, we had 8 teams in the ACC. I think the furthest we had to travel was up to Maryland.
Although you did go 3,000 miles away for school. California guy went to North Carolina, and there Justin Thomas grabs Agarwal.
Yeah, I was Dean Smith's first recruit west of the Mississippi. That's how old I am. Back in 1986, he came out to my high school, Wilson High School, in Southern California. In fact, we won the state championship right up the road in the old stadium where the Warriors used to play, the Oakland Alameda Coliseum. We beat a team from Aptos for the state championship in '86 on my birthday.
That was a pretty
It was a
good
day
birthday.
after my birthday, I think. Yeah, close enough. It was a nice birthday present regardless. We should have won it in '85. I had a couple seniors my junior year. Some pro scout, some college scouts there. They froze me out. We would have won it. But yeah, good group, and one of my old teammates, Neil Weingarten, put his state championship ring on social media today, and got to have a little trip down memory lane here in Northern Cal. Now, you went to Palo Alto High School.
I did.
How did you not come here?
Right across the street. Well, a couple reasons. If I was better athletically and a better student, this is where I would have gone. Besides that, everything was perfect.
Yeah, well, I know about that. I had the skills. I didn't have the grades. I told Gilbert Washington that was who was recruiting me here at the time.
Right,
so
who was working for Dr. Tom Davis.
Dr. Tom Davis. Who doesn't want to play for Dr. Tom Davis, right? But I said, I can't spend every moment in the library. I want to go out and get pizza and beers sometimes, Coach. I can't do it.
Kermit Washington was on that staff. Bruce Pearl. Gary Close. This is the Stanford upcoming schedule. Syracuse on Wednesday, at SMU in Dallas. Then Wake comes here, NC State here, and then a trip all the way back to Atlanta to take on Georgia Tech February 12th.
Yeah, that's quite the schedule. They're going to have to make some hay there. That SMU playing some good ball. You mentioned Wake Forest. They were in a battle with Duke today. I'm not quite sure how that one ended up for them, but the ACC, that top of that ACC is rough. Clemson, they're playing some good basketball too.
Stanford finally gets it in, and the ball on the floor, and a turnover. So this has not been Stanford's finest hour these final 30 seconds.
Now the execution down the stretch here. You got Coach Smith off that bench, kind of looking bewildered as why can't we handle what we execute every day in situational closing out of games, time and score, and they keep coughing the ball up. All the problem for Florida State is that game clock's a little too short for them to be able to get the victory, but they're fighting in that type of teaching situation or learning situation may help them down the road.
Florida State, Wednesday, they got Virginia Tech. That'll be at home in Tallahassee, then to Boston College. Notre Dame at Wake, and then Clemson. They'll fly home tomorrow. They won't fly home tonight. The snow has left the ground. It is still very cold in Tallahassee. They have been gone since Monday, and it'll have been a tough trip here with a loss at Cal, and if this holds true here, a tough loss at Stanford. 9.3 seconds left, an 8-point game. The 9.3 seconds, the longest of Kyle Smith's life. It's like, how can this 9.3 take this long?
Yeah, it does seem like this last minute and 30 seconds has been an eternity, but regardless of how long it takes, he will be happy if his team walks off this court victorious. And yeah, they'll tighten some things up in practice before the next time they have to step on the floor. But all in all, this little stretch here, going back to the buzzer beater at North Carolina, taking care of the two Florida teams, Miami and Florida State, he's going to feel real good about the situation that he's got himself in here for the second half of the season.
Ewan will inbound opposite his bench. Davis, a long shot, nothing. Cameron runs it down, and Stanford ball. And now they want to review this, too. We'll see if they do it.
That's the second time Cameron's just taking a ball and throwing it off of someone's backside.
And they're going to look at this. Let's hope that they keep the expediency, which, Scott, you have praised on how quickly they've made these out-of-bound rulings.
For real, because I got dinner reservations at Fleming's after this, and now we're starting. I didn't mind it earlier, but now he might start messing with my dinner reservation. I'm looking forward to a nice ribeye later, Dave. Don't mess with the big man's meal.
They're going to hold it for. I don't want you to eat any more red vines before your dinner.
Oh, you're calling me out with my red vines?
Enough.
Oh,
Let's stop before the dinner.
Man, I'm supposed to tell people I'm on the protein diet. Now you are outing me here with my red vines and my Cracker Jacks.
I didn't mention the Cracker Jacks.
Cracker Jacks, they're my favorite. I can't go to a baseball game, a Major League Baseball game, without having a hot dog and some Cracker Jacks. Makes me feel like I'm 7 years old again.
All right, let's see if they're keeping your streak of a quick ruling on this.
Yeah, and these guys have been great.
After review, Florida State basketball.
Okay, so.
Oh, wow, okay. Again, another opportunity for Florida State. Work on their final, play of a game. Should they need this in a game where they might find themselves trailing by 1 or 2 points. Little curl action and back over the top. That's good.
Ball going, had a good look, no. And that's how it will end. Woo! Partner,
That was fun. Oh, a lot of fun working with you, Dave.
Our final score, Stanford 78, Florida State 71. For Scott Williams and our entire crew, I'm Dave Feldman. The Cardinal now 6-3 in the conference. Good night from Palo Alto.
Coming up on Nothing But Net, the Joel is a place where teams go to lose. Will second-ranked Duke be Wake Forest's next victim in Winston-Salem, or can Cooper Flagg and company keep their win streak alive? Meanwhile, in Chapel Hill, hold on for a wild ride as the Eagles swooped in to try and steal a win from the Heels. What's the concern level for Carolina? The guys will weigh in. And even on a day off, Pat Kelsey, the head man at Louisville, is working. The revival is real in Louisville. He joins us to talk all things Cards. Time to cook. You'll see what I mean.